It's interesting because I've heard somebody speak about having alternate states and going into, like, people that do heavy meditation. They get into like what they call theta, and that's where you can ask for healing in that process. That's where you can connect spiritually.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast. And we are back with our next guest, recent guest, the most recent guest. That's Karen Rosado. You'll notice that Karen, what was it, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago that you aired?
Yep.
A couple guys come, we were introduced to a mutual friend. A couple guys come to you and say, hey, listen, you want to come and bare your soul to two complete strangers.
Two idiots sitting
all
behind the
for it,
mic.
though.
Yeah. Well, what did you think? Like, what was going on in your head? Because this was the first podcast you ever did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
makes it
kinda
the best
wanted
podcast
to.
you ever did.
Yeah,
This is true.
for sure. No,
By
it really
default.
was though, and all my friends had commented. You guys have like such a good way of like getting people down to like, you know, the most intimate things. So no,
Well, we
it was
get
the best
people to make them
podcast.
feel like themselves.
Yes.
You know, it's a very comfortable atmosphere, and you know, we don't judge people, and we just let them bare their souls to us.
Yeah. And that's the thing, people won't do it if they don't feel comfortable.
They'll
you know?
shut down.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get surface stuff.
Yeah.
We're looking for, we want to go just to the edge of making you, you know, we don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but we want to get your story out there.
Yeah.
Because your story is not something that nobody's ever experienced. You know,
Right.
we have had a couple of those in here, but a lot of people will have lymphoma. But the way you're dealing with it was so important to me.
Yeah.
And you know, I know our friend Rory, it's done a lot for him.
Yeah.
And so he's one of my weekly calls. You know, I'll call him once a week and just say, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
that's what this show's done for me.
Yeah.
Has anybody reached out to you because of your episode and said, wow, that's refreshing?
It's been the same anchor people that I have, but I
Oh,
don't
because
think...
we didn't put your phone number over the. You know, if we put your phone number out
Next
there,
time.
that
Yeah.
people would have called
It's in
you.
we put it on the bathroom wall so people will call you.
No,
Just
put it in the
figure out
bottom.
between all the numbers that are there,
Yeah.
which
Put
one's
it in the
mine.
bottom third next week.
But I had a good feedback, I think, and even people that commented that I didn't know, it was just, it's just humbling to see that people can see a vulnerable side of somebody and connect with something that they're able to push you more forward. And I didn't get anything negative, so that was really good for me.
Did your family watch the episode at all?
Yeah, my dad, when I walked in, he's like, fire pokers, huh? He's like, really? I'm
The
like,
most-
that's what you took from the whole show?
Yeah, exactly. From the whole hour show, he took out the
Right.
fire poker.
I thought I heard it all, but
Yeah.
when somebody shoves a fire poker up their ass, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's commitment.
Nick, calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
What'd your father think of the show, though? Did he?
No, he liked it. Yeah, he was. And
did
I
fantastic.
haven't even like sat and like, you know, I gave them pieces because in the beginning we were on a little bit of opposite sides, and so he kind of came down to my level and my sister's level and understood, and he got behind me a lot more and supported me. But I still have not sat down and broke everything down, especially the dream of my foster mother having cancer. So I warned them before that. I was like, listen, like, I didn't tell you about this because I didn't want mom to freak out and think she had cancer. So, but it's on there just so you know. But I think she's fine. So
One of the greatest things that we're able to do as a show, because we have so many different friends, is somebody's got to get their muffler fixed.
I thought it was you. I thought it was the chicken you ate before.
Bad chicken. We have all these new friends, and we don't know everything, but we might know somebody that has a little bit more knowledge
Right.
than you. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So you don't want to go the traditional Western route with your care and your
Yep.
treatment. And just watch the show and you'll understand why. So we were able to connect you with a friend of mine in Canada to get you medication and send it to your door.
yeah.
And does it fit in? Does it align with your method
Yeah.
of treatments?
Yeah, so I'll touch on it a little bit. I don't know if people want to go that deep. But so I've taken the capsules, which are extracted oil from cannabis that are encapsulated, and it gets you, I mean, really, really high.
He told me, when I asked him, what are your side effects? Because it's always diarrhea, it's this stuff. He goes, no, you're going to get high as shit.
Yeah,
You know,
and I did.
I knew a guy who did that once, and he went out walking and couldn't put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
That's what that stuff will do to you.
Yeah.
I know, listen, I'm just
that's
saying.
how it was. I took it and then I watched some comedy, and I thought it would kick in, and it didn't kick in right away, and the comedy wasn't that
Let's
funny.
watch The Wizard of Oz next time you take one.
Oh man, that would put me in another state.
Yeah.
But after
So-
a half hour, the comedy got so much funnier.
It didn't. Usually it takes a half an hour.
With the
It was
bag
like
of
an
potato
hour.
chips and laughing
Oh
and-
yeah, you get the munchies. So I went to bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night to pee, and that's when I couldn't walk. And I'm like, oh, I'm high. I'm really high. Like I was swaying getting to the bathroom. But it's interesting because I've heard somebody speak about having alternate states and going into like people that do heavy meditation. They get into like what they call theta, and that's where you can ask for healing in that process. That's where you can connect spiritually. So when I was sleeping, I went into what I believe is a theta state, and it brought me. I've heard you can ask what started my cancer before you go into a theta, and they'll show you. They'll give you the map of anything that's not physical. Well, you might get physical stuff, but a lot of spiritual
It
stuff.
wasn't a studio in Pompton Plains, New Jersey that gave you.
Not yet. No,
Okay,
that didn't come up yet.
Because Mike's always coughing. I'm always wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my nose runs when I get up there all the time. And, you notice my nose hasn't run yet since we've been here. It must be
It's me.
maybe it's Puerto Ricans.
I'm
It
healing.
could be. You could be highly allergic to the islands.
Yeah,
It's something with the sand.
Puerto Ricans, Costa Ricans.
If you're looking back at your show, is there one moment that stands out to you as your favorite, that where you're like, wow, I really got my point across on that one?
I think about the way I lost my career was a big thing, and that started the snowball effect of, well, it didn't start it, but it was a big piece of this. And so watching that unfold into the diagnosis of the cancer, it really helped me put, like, you're in survival mode, so you don't really break it down, right? So I think when we were talking in the podcast, when I actually laid it out, the fact that I lost my grandmother, then I lost my
Yeah, you had a
my
whole
cousin.
series of incidents
Yeah,
that
I
just-
lost my career.
yeah,
I lost
yeah.
my uncle who I was really close with, and I lost a friend. And I was just like, oh wow, I didn't even piece that together of how much grief and suffering I had, and I definitely didn't sit there and process it. That's
I'm
for
gonna say,
sure.
when you watched the episode and you heard yourself telling that story, was it like a holy shit moment? Like,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because even when I said it, I don't think I
Yeah.
internalized it. It was looking back, and I'm like, wow, I didn't have a moment to stop and
You
think
did.
and process.
Unbelievable. Like you actually came across, as you've been doing these shows and telling your story, you had it, you were able to get across so well that if this was your first show, I think you got a big future in telling this story, because I know a lot of people get hope from it as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On the way home, I called Kevin, because generally we'll talk on the way home. And
Yeah.
I said, that's one strong woman right there.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Thank
it's,
you.
like I said, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Watching our show, is there anything on there that maybe we haven't covered that you think you might want to say?
Good question.
Strippers. Say strippers.
You know what? They have some interesting stories, though.
I'm sure. Oh, yes, they do. Yes,
You know what?
they
And
do.
a lot
I mean,
of them are
after
really
this, maybe we'll
intelligent.
go to like one of the strip places. and
Recruit them?
See if we could
They
recruit
got that
some.
one right over there that my friend showed me.
You're gonna have to pay for it, though. They don't like telling their stories for free.
Well, good luck. That's it. We don't need to hear one that bad. Is there anything you want to throw out for a plug?
You know what? I can't think of anything. Say a prayer for me. It goes more than people think. A good prayer.
Listen,
thought.
prayers go a long ways,
They
and
really
since
do.
we met you, I know Kevin prays for you all the time, and
That's awesome.
I have a whole list of people that I really, and this is no bullshit. This is not me trying to a bit or trying to be funny.
Yeah.
There is a whole list of people that I pray for on a daily basis. You're definitely on that list.
Yeah.
You're way too young to have anything this horrible happen to you. But I do want to tell you that your connection to your newfound medication is due to a anonymous benefactor.
Yeah.
That, and these are relationships that we foster, and this is what the power of prayer does.
Yeah.
I'm a big
divine
believer.
intervention.
Yeah.
Divine intervention. There
So
are
you
no
have like
chance
a mental altar. You have a list of people
I'm
that's
mental, all right.
that's
I'm mental, all right.
Yeah.
yeah.
You put
That's awesome.
mental and Kevin in the same sentence, and
Yeah.
always works out.
I have a strong faith base.
Yeah.
That's what I have. I have a
Yeah,
strong
that's
faith
good.
base, and I believe in the power of positive thought.
Same.
Karen, I thank you so much. I can't wait to have you back when this stuff has been eradicated
Yeah.
from your
I'm
body.
excited for that.
When you beat it,
yeah.
the day you get that
You guys are my roster. I have a very small roster of the people that I'm going to call when I beat
Generally,
it. You
we're on a
guys are
roster
there.
of people that they want to kill.
I get
This is the first time we made a good list.
my one caveat
season.
for getting her connected with this new form of medication was I want to be updated because for not only I do want to cure yours as well, but just think about the possibilities. People who we love, people who we don't even know who need this treatment, and it's out there and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and we're going to be right back.
And welcome back.
This, yeah, you're going to want to hang around for this segment.
Yeah.
We're sitting here with Mackie Lawless, and for those of you out there, what's her Instagram title?
Mackie Smacky.
What's
Not telling.
No, you'll see her every week on Instagram Live because her boyfriend forces her to watch Instagram Live, and you'll see her hashtag Mike's Army because Ugly over here.
We haven't done that in a while.
I try to be first.
You try to be first. Tom beats you.
You're about 19th
Tom beats me
today.
every time.
That's because Tom was logged on to Instagram
Thank you,
Live
Tom.
3 days prior.
Yeah. Tom logged on at 12 o'clock this afternoon.
So, Mackie, it's important for you to come on, because you've watched the show grow from the very beginning. You've watched it.
Correct,
You've,
Not necessarily the very beginning.
not the very beginning, but early
When
on
we were
enough,
still in the basement.
when we were still in the basement, you've watched this thing grow. You get involved with Ugly over here, and I'm just going to
He's so
kill him.
handsome.
No, that's
Not
not
to
funny.
me. Not to me. You getting involved with this mutant sitting next to me.
Jared,
The
that's not
basement
funny.
gremlin. I do like that
Basement
name.
gremlin.
So
You're not
Not for
supposed
long.
to laugh
Not for long.
on my behalf.
that's what the NFL is, not for long.
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes. You find out that he does this thing with this guy in a basement,
She was instantly hooked.
and what's going on in your head?
you got a
like in all
podcast?
seriousness, what's going on in your head? It's just like a fun thing. Let him do his thing, or it's.
I mean, in all honesty, at first I was like, oh, that's great. Like, go do it. Like, if it's something that helps you, like, help other people, I think that's phenomenal. And then I watched a few episodes, and I'm like, holy crap, like, this is good stuff, And I get the feedback from him. They're like, oh, Kevin got this text from this guy, or this or that, or you
I showed her that text the other night.
get a text from a guy. Like, it helped him. He's staring at his drawer. He's doing this. He's doing that, and like you help someone. Something like this, I feel like you help a lot of people that you don't even realize.
Yeah,
So I think it's
it
amazing.
helps Mackie go to sleep. she puts a podcast on. She's snoring
That
the
is
first
not
5 minutes.
true. That's not true.
No, it's at least 10 minutes in. Hey, as long as we're getting 10 minutes of
10
view time,
10
we're
minutes is
good.
fine, yeah.
We're good. But so is any one show stand out to you as one of your favorites?
The one I think that touched my heart the most was Gene.
Gene Halberg.
Gene Halberg.
Was Gene.
I think that's the one that touched most people's hearts.
Yeah.
Still touches my heart till today.
So, and I know we did a lot. We did that same thing for Gene. This is how I know. Okay, he has been through the most unbearable suffering that I can possibly imagine. I can't fathom what he went through. Yet,
And I don't ever want to fathom.
correct. Yet, Gene will take the time out of his day occasionally to either call me, text me, or just something simple as
Love
like,
that.
hey, this is great. That means the world to us. When somebody takes the time out of their busy day, going through what they went through, and that's what's important to us. You know,
Oh, and another one that was great
Mike
was
Obama.
with Bobby Cordell.
That's a Homer answer.
No,
she's
but
friends with
that's,
Bobby Cordell.
of course I am. I'm very good friends with Bobby and Kara.
Which one?
Yeah,
first
he's
one.
been
The
on
first
3
one.
times.
The first one, only because I have been friends with them for years. I've been in the situation with them. Like, I mean, not what Bobby was going through, but we were friends, and all that was going on around what was going on with us. And it was amazing to hear snippets of, like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the supermarket. I'm gonna go pick up something. Carrie, you need dip? Okay, boom, I'm gonna go, and then, so it's
And then you realize why he was running out. to the store.
exactly, and he's
like I said,
such a wonderful person.
We lived that. We saw what Bobby was going through. For
Yeah.
him to overcome all that and
I saw it
to be
firsthand.
so open about it,
Well, it's hard to look past certain things with Bobby because his love language is breaking your balls. That's
He's
his love
the
language.
best. No.
You never
Bobby
know when
is
he's serious or not.
amazing.
Yeah.
Just
Amazing.
gotta stop making fun of my forehead.
Yeah. But the best is he's a ball breaker.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
but that's how he shows he cares about you because that's just his
If
love
he
language.
doesn't break your balls, he does not like you.
But see, the thing with Bobby is you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know, he's a true person. You know what you're getting when you deal with Bobby.
Yes.
You're not getting
He
anything
made,
back.
he made up the thing with the whole, with PB Herman, large Marge sent you. I just saw something on TikTok the other day. I just screenshotted it and sent it to him yesterday. And it's 30 years, large Marge sent you. And I sent you, I'm like, haha, it made me think of you. And he was like, oh my God.
But those little things mean the world to somebody like Bobby because he knows people are watching.
Yep.
And so what if this guy comes home and says, hey, listen, Kevin and I are down doing the podcast full time.
Okay.
From Aruba.
Okay.
That
From
was our
Aruba?
original
That's
From
our
Aruba,
original
I'm
plan.
in. I'm in.
Original
Let me
plan
go.
was
I have
to-
to go too.
Okay.
build this and go to Aruba.
If you guys are doing the podcast full time, I would need a little more insight of what's going to happen and how it's going to work.
We travel. We're going to get an RV and we're going to travel coast
Okay.
to coast. And it's just going to...
It's going to be like the
But then
Madden
I'm-
Cruiser. You remember John Madden
You're
had the
coming
Madden
with us,
Cruiser?
Andrew. Don't
can't-
worry about it.
Andrew
somebody
can
to
go,
film
but
it.
I can't go. I don't like that.
No, this guy's only trip. Don't worry. We'll be back like for a week out of 3 months.
I think it would be awesome if you guys did like a road trip for a certain amount of time.
You heard it.
And you go like around the United States or whatever. That I think would be a very cool
You
idea.
heard it.
All right, but when I come home, I'd say, we're going on a road trip. So how long are you going to be gone? What are you going to do? Are there going to be girls there?
We're just following your lead. So you heard it here.
Why would you think
Mackie is
that?
proposing a Suffering Podcast road trip.
You
Let's
get like
make
a
this
nice
happen.
big RV.
You
I
know,
think that would be great.
Then we need a roadie.
Kevin and I had talked about this. We were going to do strip clubs across the country.
No, not strip clubs. Because you're
You said
giving
road
your
trip.
money to them.
You
They
didn't
ain't
say
going
there were going
home
to be
with
male
you.
strip clubs. Is that all right?
You said road trips, and we do strip clubs in every state to see how
No.
the girls deal with it. No.
For this Suffering Podcast, you do a road trip. You put it on like the internet and everything. Where you're gonna be, where you're gonna stop. People will show up.
Strip
Sounds
club.
like a good
Listen,
idea.
if you want to go to a strip club, go to a strip club, have fun. But they ain't coming home with you at the end.
That sound. There's a little venom behind that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Mackie, thank you so much for lending me your
You're
guy
putting me on the spot.
every Wednesday. Well, that's what we're all about. It's
Yeah.
all about you got to get out of your comfort zone every once in a while.
I'm okay.
Listen,
My heart
and-
is like pounding right
And
now.
that's why we do it, because when you're put on the spot, that's the real you.
Yeah.
You don't have time to
Okay.
fake.
Well, thank you so much for
And-
lending me your guy
and
every
this-
Wednesday.
No
this is the real
problem.
Mackie. There's no faking that.
My
there.
heart is like pounding right now.
Don't worry about it. It's going to come out great. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we will be right back with our last guest of the evening.